And there we go. So this is being recorded.
Super.
So officially, good morning. Thank you for the time today and just kind of reviewing the care and maintenance of both carpet and the LVT floors that are being installed at your college, at Miami-Dade College. We at Mannington really truly appreciate the opportunity to share and to talk through these things, because it's really important to us to make sure that you have what you need in order to be successful. If and when you're successful, then the floors look good. Everybody takes pride in the way that the floors are looked, the facilities, people that are walking around and leadership, they see that it looks good, and it's just a win-win for all of us that are, whether maintaining it or ownership of the college or Mannington, the manufacturer. So that's why we really, really appreciate these opportunities to talk it through. So I would like to start off with carpet first, if that's okay with everybody. It's one of those quick topics. A couple things with carpeting. We need to make sure that everybody understands the Carpet and Rug Institute, as of March of this year, officially said that they no longer endorse or recommend any type of bonnet cleaning. So any type of bonnets, whether it's on an orbital or any type of, round type of circular motion, any type of those types of products, machines, equipment, accessories are no longer endorsed by the Carpet and Rug Institute. Mannington has never endorsed those types of pieces of equipment because of the negative effects that those types of machines have on carpet and carpet fibers, and the abuse that they translate to the carpet. It's very, very bad for the carpet fibers. And so any type of bonnet cleaning is not permitted. Ultimately you can do whatever you want because you own the carpet, but if Mannington knows that the bonnet system has been used, then
I'm just going to share what a bonnet cleaner is.
Yep. That just
I
like that.
understand.
Yep. It's like a cloth pad underneath a round machine.
Yes.
Some of them have like 2 or 3, circular discs. Some of them have, orbiting type of technology. There's all types of bonnet types of cleaning systems out there. Some people make it unique or proprietary. So yes, any type of round or even rectangular. I know that some of the rectangular companies have utilized their machines to try to clean carpet as well. So all of them are not an acceptable means to maintain carpet. The only products that are acceptable is counter-rotating brushes, which turn cylindrically, and carpet extractors, where you have the wand, it shoots water into the carpet fibers, and then the wand vacuums up that solution that was injected in.
Perfect. And I just want to pause here for a moment. Does anyone from Miami-Dade College have any questions on this? What bonnet cleaning is, why it's not approved?
No, we find we have that type of materials. We have the banners, we have the machines. We use it or varnish some carpets and different times before.
Which machines do you guys have?
The blue one I sent it to you, the banner regular, the circular, and we have the rectangular too.
Okay, so you don't have like a Whittaker or counter rotating machine, but you have an extractor.
We had the same show in the pictures.
Okay, so the one I just showed with that buffer, that is no longer Carpet and Rug Institute approved for cleaning carpet.
is what we have.
Okay. But do you have the other machines that you can use to
Yeah, we have
to
a
clean?
extraction machine. We have extraction machine. We have all the equipment too. We have a shampoo machine, instructions, and everything.
Okay.
Perfect. So Jim will explain how to clean with the extraction machine, right?
Right.
How
So,
to
yep.
best practices for it.
So with the utilizing the carpet extractors, one of the key things that we've seen successfully done over the years is not to put chemical in the extractor.
Yes.
What we suggest, and we've been, so I've been doing cleaning, both carpet and hard surface, for about 35 years. Been working with Mannington. We're working for Mannington for 7 and working as a consultant for Mannington for about 8 years before that. And we have very, very specifically said, don't put chemistry in the extractor because we don't want the chemistry being forced into the carpet fibers, because most of the soil and carpet is on the top. Yes, some soiling and some dirt or some stains that may work their way down into the fiber a little bit, but majority of the soiling is on the top of the fiber. So if you hold your hand straight up and down, you know, your fingers are mimicking fibers, and most of that soil's on top. So what we recommend is utilizing like a pump up sprayer or something to mix your chemical in, spray the carpet, whether it's traffic patterns or spots or even just general soil, where you're doing general carpet cleaning, and spray the area with the carpet chemical. Let it set for whatever the manufacturer says to, leave it set for. The chemical manufacturer says, if you need to leave it set for, 5 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes, leave it set. And the reason being is that chemistry needs an opportunity to break down that soil. When you use the carpet extractor, then you're filling it with warm to hot water, depending on the soil, and you're just going over and flushing that soil off the surface as well as within the whole fiber area, trying to get all that stuff out. And so it's just a flushing action that the carpet extractor is going to be used for, not to apply chemical. Is there any questions on that?
No, understood.
No, everything is good. Yeah.
Okay. And then also we mentioned the counter rotating brushes. Those types of, and the common term is CRB, which is counter rotating brushes. So CRBs are very effective in bringing, let's say if you have whether it's a main entrance or by an elevator bank or areas where there's heavy traffic in and out of a building or an area, we do recommend those CRBs to be used in maintaining that carpet area as well. And basically what happens is you can use it either wet with your, carpet cleaning chemical to work it into the fibers better. And what those counter rotating brushes do is they bring those fibers up, straight up and down again. So that, instead of being matted, it brings them up. And then once you use your carpet extractor to remove all that soil and debris and everything, you're flushing out the carpet. It really sets those fibers up and keeps them being very, very effective in soil removal as well as keeping the fiber in a upright and position to make the floor carpeting look the way it's supposed to look. So those CRBs are very, very effective in routine maintenance, periodic maintenance, and even corrective cleaning processes where, or restorative cleaning, if you do, like, for instance, summer cleaning, those are really good in bringing those fibers right back up to where they're supposed to be. Any questions?
Yes, I do. I have a question.
Sure.
My name is Onyx. I work for Miami-Dade College.
Okay, Onyx.
when you say CRB, counter rotating brushes,
Yes,
is that the brush that we have been attaching to our side-by-side scrubber? Or
No.
is that different equipment?
different equipment.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you do not use any side-by-side at all, whether it's brushes, pads,
Right,
bonnets.
damage
Yep.
fiber.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Onyx. And
Okay.
it's, and the basically what basically happens, and just help support that. So a carpet fiber is twisted, right? There's certain amount of twists and turns to give that carpet fiber its rigidity and its strength to withstand the day-to-day walking. When you use those types of machines, basically what you're doing is untwisting what is twisted to give it strength. By untwisting it with that machine, now you've weakened the fiber. It is now beginning to fray, and over a very short period of time, it becomes matted very quickly, and it's no longer an effective carpet fiber.
Yes, they're flying out.
Yes, thank you. Very good, Onyx. Yeah, absolutely, you're correct. So I've seen installations where that process has been used
Yes,
for 2 to 3 years on a brand new carpet, and it looks like a 20-year-old carpet after 3 years.
wow.
So and again, I've been in my territory is North America, right? So I've seen a lot of poor care, and I've seen a lot of good care and maintenance. And when proper care and maintenance is performed, then the life expectancy of the carpet is going to be the full term of the warranty. And we've even seen even further than that and beyond, because it's being cared for correctly. Just like maintaining your car, right? Or anything else that you have, your house. If you take care of it and you do the proper maintenance and you do it the correct way, then it lasts.
Mhm. Yes,
The machine, the CRV we mentioned about that carpet, to take care of that carpet, is the one we coming with the brush and cylindric rolls.
Yeah, the cylindrical ones.
Yeah, the one with cylinder that brushes. But it's the same system. The other machines, what the one with the pounder, the one with dry.
You can use it dry and or wet. Right. The bristles on the CRBs are soft, so they're designed to reach between the carpet fibers and bring up that soil or dirt and bring the fibers also straight up and down without doing any damage to the carpet fiber.
Yeah, I mentioned about the machine. It's a one machine who use the pounder like wood powder or something like that to spread out onto the floor and brush it and clean it. You see that one?
No, I have not. Is,
Yeah.
is there a brand name or pictures that you want to share?
And try to find out, and we find out. We try here. We try here to use it because they bring a sample. But I
Sure.
ask you, yeah.
But Rodriguez,
I will share with you later on.
yeah. Well, listen, this is not the last phone call or conference call. All of us have been on an email chain, right? Because you all received the invitation. This does not need to be the last call or last email or last correspondence. If you have something, or if you would like to share, or if someone brings something to you and says, "Hey, this is the best thing we've ever seen. Here's some samples, here's some literature, here's a piece of equipment, try it out, see what you think." You are welcome to share that with me or anybody in the Mannington team, that handles your account, and we will be more than happy to look at it and say, "Hey, yeah, that one is acceptable," or "Hey, no, that is not acceptable," in maintaining. Again, we're just talking carpet right now, but and anything, or even chemistry. Someone has the best secret sauce, right? They say, "Hey, this is my best secret sauce. We put in there a little bit of pixie dust, and it works fantastic." Well, you can say, well, let me double check with the manufacturer. You know, you're making all kinds of good promises and you're making all kinds of great claims, but let me double check. And, you know, we can look into the SDS sheets and the chemistry makeup and what they're putting in it. And we've seen many instances where some of the chemical manufacturers put in optical brighteners or some silicas or silicon that you know helps in trying to get some of the or stuff out of the carpeting, or they've used corn cobs, or they've used you know all kinds of things in their chemistries that try to you know get dirt out, and it doesn't work. I mean, I'm sure it works to a certain extent, but it's not an improved process by the Carpet and Rug Institute or Mannington, the manufacturer of the carpet. But good question, Onyx. Really, I mean, this is an open line of communication. This is very candid. We're being very upfront. You know, it doesn't hurt to ask. This is a win-win for Miami-Dade and for Mannington to make sure that all of us are on the same page.
Thank you so much. I also agree with what you said about just using hot water, if you can,
Yes.
on your extraction machine, and no chemicals.
In the extractor itself, yes, just warm to hot water.
Yes.
If you need to apply chemistry, then you apply it with a pump up sprayer or whatever other means. You apply it directly to the carpet, not in the extractor. And the reason being is because you're forcing chemistry way into the carpet fibers with that jet.
Yes.
And
yes.
sometimes it's difficult to come out.
Oh yes, it's slippery afterwards.
Yes, absolutely. You're 100%. Yes, and it becomes a dirt magnet. You are spot on. So you're right. Yes, right.
Yeah, I've done floors for many years.
Yeah, see, this is not your first rodeo either.
No, it's not, sir.
And I appreciate that, right? Because it's very rare that someone understands not just language barrier, but I appreciate that because, you know, I've been doing it for a long time, and it's nice to have a veteran that's on the phone call as well that can agree and say, hey, I agree with Jim. Jim's is right. So thank you for that. I appreciate the support.
You're very welcome.
The last component is your vacuuming, right? The vacuuming component for Dade. I mean, I don't know if you do. I assume it's based on soil load, right? So some areas require daily vacuuming, some every other day, some once a week, depending on the location of the carpet. We do recommend the dual motors, which is the motor that propels the beater bar brush. And then there's another motor that creates the vacuum in the canister. Those dual motor upright vacuums are very effective. Also, preventative maintenance on the vacuums. Empty the bag before it's full, so that you're able to optimize the dry soil capacity of that vacuum cleaner, getting all that stuff out of the carpet fibers, monitoring your beater bar, making sure those bristles on the beater bar do wear down, replace them frequently as needed, replace the bag frequently. We typically say half is a good time to replace that bag, just because of the amount of soil. It does get heavy, number one, and when you're vacuuming the floors. So it's important, half is rule of thumb. Some people go a little bit further than half, that's fine. But and then properly keep maintaining that vacuum cleaner, wiping it down, keeping it clean. There's pre-filters and after filters, keeping those clean. That's very important in maintaining that vacuum for its life expectancy and its performance. Any other questions?
No, we
Okay.
find here in Miami College, we have a dual motors vacuum is what we use.
Okay, perfect.
then with everyone's permission, do you mind if we jump into resilient flooring?
Okay, we're moving on to resilient flooring. So I did receive the pictures from, what you have at the facility. The square scrub machines that are very, very effective in maintaining our floors. We do need to make sure that no harsh pads are being used, meaning that no blue or black or green or SPP pads, those maroon pads for stripping. None of those pieces of types of pads, and any type of aggressive pad is not necessary. What we've seen successfully used is AstroTurf material. Square Scrub makes a blue AstroTurf pad for their Square Scrub machine. We've seen successfully used white pads, and we've seen successfully used red pads, and we've seen successfully used microfiber pads for those Square Scrub machines. And any questions about the pads? Have you guys seen those AstroTurf pads?
No, I have not. What about
We
the,
don't have it. We don't have it because that type of floor is new in our campus.
Okay.
Most likely we don't take care of them before.
Okay.
I see it in the market. I see it multiple times. We don't buy it yet. I think we need to buy it now, right?
And it has multiple
Um,
uses, right? You guys have a lot of
yeah, sure,
VCT,
but normally
and so red
yeah.
pads are also used with VCT.
that's
Yep.
good. But the thing is, normally we use for scrubbing, waxing, and buffing, and we use the other ones. What he mentioned about don't be used in this type of floor. But the blue and the white we use it here in different areas to buffing and polish some areas. But the blue, normally we don't buy too many blue and red. But
Okay.
yes, for sure we have it in house. We will take care of the floor with that type of pad as you recommended.
Well,
Jim, correct me
let's
if
go a
I'm
little
wrong.
bit.
The red is the workhorse pad, right? Like it can be used for multiple different products. It's not super abrasive. If there's
Yes,
one
yes, yes.
pad that you would recommend for them to have, which one would it be? Would it be the white pad, the red pad, the AstroTurf that they can have?
Both. If you let's step back just a bit before we start talking about pads. So we have to remember that the coating that's on the floors that are installed is factory applied. So there's a factory applied coating, and that coating has a lot of different characteristics to it. One of the characteristics is there's aluminum oxide within the formula of the coating. So aluminum oxide is very, very strong, very, very durable. The second component to the floors is that they have an embossing or a texture to it. It's not real heavy, but there is a texture to it. So when we compare these types of floors to, let's say, all of your floors that have floor finish on, your floor finished floors are perfectly flat, perfectly smooth. These floors are embossed. There's a texture. So for instance, if someone spills a glass of water or a paper cup of water or coffee, and someone walks in it, they will not fall when they're walking on our floors because it has a very high coefficient of friction. When you spill water on a perfectly flat, smooth, waxed floor, it becomes a skate ring. It's very slippery, and we've seen a lot of instances where people have falls because of just the way what had happened. So we have to look at this floor a little bit different than your floors that you put floor finish on. So when we say you can use red pads, if you use red pads or white pads in maintaining, with your auto scrubbers, your Chariots or your walk behinds or whatever that you're using, if you use a red pad or white pad and maintaining your floor finished floors, then you can use the red or white pad in maintaining our floors. That's not a problem. You don't need to stop and take off the pad, put on a different one. It's not necessary. So it's one
Okay, that's good. That's good.
and right, that's the key thing is it's universal, right? That you can it's again, I used to do what you do, so I would not want to have my staff or myself, even if I was doing the work myself, have to stop, I come to this floor, take that pad off, throw another pad on, and then keep going. So that's really, you can maintain the floors as if you're maintaining all of your wax floors. All the same. Red or white pad. What we've seen also very successful is limited chemical use. And when I say limited, I'm talking about a dilution rate that's similar to a 1/4 ounce or an 1/8 ounce per gallon of water. Now, I did see, the Envirox chemistry listed or picture shown. And some of those chemistries that they offer have a 2 or 3 ounce per gallon dilution rate, which is pretty high. And we've seen where there's been some instances where we've seen chemical residue build up because there's so much chemical. You clean the floor, and then the water evaporates, and then there's that residue that's left behind from the chemistry. So we
Yeah, for
see.
that type, specifically
But
for that chemicals we use as a peroxide base, we have a two different way to dilute them, right? We have a dispenser. We can use a light duty, okay? And
okay,
light duty dilution, we can meet your expectations for the floor and
right.
be
So
less
what?
aggressive and the concentration is less.
Yes. So, but do you know what the dilution rate for that light duty is? Is it
Uh,
1 or 2 ounces? And
no,
heavy
it's
duty is
less.
3 or 4 or 5,
Yeah. It's 1 ounce.
1 ounce. So you can cut that in more than half and
Yes.
still achieve expectations of a clean floor. And this
Okay.
again, this is Rodriguez, this is universal, even on your waxed floors or your ceramic floors or any of your grouted floors or marbles or terrazzos, whatever hard surface flooring. The less chemical you use, the better off you are. Now, yes, if there's certain areas where, like a kitchen area, or where there's carts coming in and out of a kitchen, or a cafeteria where peanut butter and jelly sandwiches land face down, or someone spills whatever, Coca-Cola, and it's a mess and it's a sticky mess, then yes, you need to use some chemistry to clean those things off. I'm not saying not to use for those areas, but for general traffic, walking through hallways and corridors or areas where, it's just foot traffic, well, you don't need that high concentration of chemical. It's not needed. And this is just all floors. It's just not needed because there's no dirt, right? I mean, there may be a little bit, but the soiling load is so low that it's best to use very little chemical, let the machine with the agitation and the water suspend that soil, and then that vacuum system pulls it up off the floor. And that type of a process, again, similarly to the carpet, less water, less chemistry, trying to get the um, soil out and flushing it off instead of just trying to chemically blast it out. So we do suggest dilution rates of 1 to 512 or 1 to 1024, which is like an eighth of an ounce per gallon of water.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, we've seen, again, these products. There's millions of square miles of this product installed all over North America and actually the world. And we have seen where facilities have implemented that chemical dilution rate very, very successfully and have actually seen improvement the whole facility on all floors. and it's made a big difference in a lot of facilities. And we're talking, not only, K through 12, higher education, even in the medical arena, healthcare, whether it's, hospitals, assisted living facilities, nursing homes, places like that, where they've been very successful at implementing those low chemical dilutions. And a lot of the chemical manufacturers have said, boy, we need to do this. And they've reduced their chemical dilutions to the 1 to 512 or 1 to 1024 on their specifications, on their dilution rates. They say, yeah, you can go this low and it'll still look great. So the chemical manufacturers are following the lead of the flooring manufacturers' recommendations.
That's great.
And it's great for you guys, right? That's the other thing. You don't have to be around chemicals and smelling that stuff. And, I mean, Envirox is, it's hydrogen peroxide. It's stinky stuff. And they put some, some oils in it to give it a citrus smell, but less chemicals, the better for everybody.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, it is.
Any questions up to this point?
No.
So the red pad, white pad is acceptable. In areas where there's going to be a little bit more of a challenging, you can use that square scrub machine with a blue AstroTurf pad. Square Scrub calls it the 3D pad, and it's, just think of it as AstroTurf. AstroTurf is like a blade of grass going up. Only for the pads, it's going down on the floor. And what basically that does is it just reaches into the embossing of the floor and gives it a really good deep cleaning.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
It's Alex again. We use a tan pad. I can't recall the grade right now, but it's a bit abrasive.
Not acceptable.
Not acceptable. Okay, terrific. Thank you for
No.
that.
Yep, that tan pad is part of your dry stripping processes, right? Yep.
It's a light stripping pad. That's what it is.
Yep, yeah, and that's fantastic for taking off a layer of floor finish or 1 or 2 layers of floor finish with that
Yes.
square scrub machine. And you can use plain water, and it looks, and you dull it down, get it good and consistent. You lay 2 coats of floor finish on top, and it looks beautiful again without having to get, again, we're trying to move away from chemistries, right?
Yes.
And so, yep, that's fantastic for all of your floor finished floors. It is not acceptable for any of the no waxed floors.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. Number one. Number two is it's very abrasive, and we don't need to abrade the floor at all. We just need to get it clean. Number three is it's embossed, right? There's a texture. So
Yes,
that pad is just going to clean the top of the embossing. It's not going to get below.
But just remove the chemical.
No, it just sits on top. So when I say embossing, it's a textured, right? There's highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
all that pad is going to do is clean on the high parts. It will not reach into the low parts of the embossing. So that's why that pad is not effective. And that's why we do point to that AstroTurf pad being very, very effective in reaching into the low parts of the floor as well.
Flexible.
Yes, exactly. It's flexible, reaches in, suspends all the soil, and then you can use your auto scrubber to clean up.
Yes, it'll go
Red
into the
pad or
valley.
white. Yep, plain water.
Yes, the AstroTurf pad will go into the valleys of the flooring.
Yep, yes, your valley. Yes, you're spot on. You're right.
Thank you for that answer.
Yes, sir. And then the last part of this is both for carpet and for the hard surfaces, and we touched on it briefly, is chemistries. We have seen a lot of successful maintenance systems utilizing plain water. There are instances, yes, where you need, and we say it in our maintenance instructions, we say you can use plain water to maintain floors. If you need chemistry, then you can use chemistry, but plain water has been successfully used in maintaining both hard and soft surfaces. There
Jim, is it warm
are-
water that you recommend? Cold water? Are there into?
Well, I'm sure there's areas where ideally warm water is best because it softens up soil. But there may be some areas where there isn't warm or hot water available, and you're just gonna need to use cold water, and that's fine too. But we have seen successful systems in place maintaining facilities with just plain water. Now, is it areas where there's not heavy traffic and it's daily cleaned? Absolutely, and or it's very simple, straightforward, not a lot of dirt. We've also seen where a very, very high dilution rate, the 1 to 1024 or 1/8 ounce per gallon of water, or a 1/4 ounce per gallon of water. Those types of dilution rates have been also very successfully implemented in maintaining facilities. Again, this is universal. When all doesn't matter if it's Mannington's hard surface, or again, yes, I work for Mannington, but I'm taking off my Mannington hat. I'm one of you guys, right? I'm sharing the knowledge that I've learned over the past 30 some plus years. I've been doing care and maintenance for floors. Less chemical. We've seen a lot of success in maintaining floors. It's just less residue, it's less smell. I mean, that's the other thing, today's day and age, everybody doesn't want to smell anything. Everybody's very sensitive to smells. So zero smell, zero chemical residue that's left behind. Again, if you do need to use some chemical, very small amount, and it should achieve expectations with your system that you're going to be maintaining the floors. If you need something for like a cafeteria or let's say a hallway butts up against the kitchen, and you see a lot of heavy greases and oils being tracked out into the floor, then yes, you use, I mean, you're very smart in maintaining floors. Use your common sense and say, okay, we need to use a degreaser, and let's start off with a low dilution rate to see if we can get it all off. And then you say, well, it didn't work. Well, then try a little bit stronger and find that sweet spot of a dilution rate that achieves expectations. And same thing with your carpeting too. If good portion of the areas can be just flushed out with plain hot water because it's just foot traffic, and then that's fantastic. But when your main entrance, I'm sure that there's sand and grit and all that other stuff that's coming through. That CRB, the counter rotating brushes, brings all that to the surface, all that silica and sand to the surface. Your carpet extractor is able to flush all that out, and probably a majority of it can be cleaned up and removed with just plain water because it's just sand. I mean, chemistry is not going to break down sand or silica. It's just chemicals aren't going to do it. So maybe just a good flushing is more than sufficient. Maybe there's areas that you do need a little bit of chemistry. Okay, then you use that chemistry and you start off with a light application, see how it works, and then find that sweet spot where maybe you just need a little bit more to achieve expectation. Any questions?
Nope.
Again, this is not the last phone call. This is not the last Teams meeting. You can certainly email, reach out that way. You can certainly call. You can certainly request the Teams meeting, and we can have a discussion again, reviewing things or saying, hey, we tried this and it worked. What do you think? Or we tried this and it didn't work. How come? Mannington is a vendor partner for Miami-Dade, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate any request for additional information or Teams meetings.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. I know that they do. I just want to let everyone know that we're going to save this meeting down. I'll probably post it up on YouTube and get a link that's public, so that way you can always rewatch it and share it with anyone else that missed this meeting. I'll also have Jim's contact information. I'll send that out in an e-blast following this meeting up. And Jim, thank you very, very much for making yourself so available to them. We
Sure,
really want to
absolutely.
make sure that, they're able to maintain these floors, make it look beautiful as the day that it was installed.
Yep.
And it's a new product, right? And it's relatively new for Miami-Dade College, and it's a little bit different and unique. And so I want to make sure that they feel confident in their ability to maintain it and make sure that it looks good. So thank you very much.
Very well. Very good. Well, hey,
you,
appreciate
thank you.
everybody's time. It looks
Thank
like
you
we're
for your
wrapping
time.
up. We're gonna wrap up with with 5 minutes to go, so that's a good thing. And any other questions? Again, make sure you reach out. Yeah, and I'll save this recording, and then we'll make sure we get everybody the information and go from there.
No, thank you so much for all the explanation and your time. We will be working on keep it clean.
Very good, Rodriguez. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jim Toth.
You're very welcome, Onyx. Appreciate your input.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye then.
Right on. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.